Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to a new video. So in this one, I'm going to be running 100 synthesis maps as well as 25 of the Forgottens. I thought if I'm doing these synthesis maps anyway, I may as well do the Forgotten for efficiency's sake. So I bought 25 of each one. I'm going to run them 4 at a time and then do the Forgotten, throw all of the loot into a tab, and then I'll, tally it up like I always do, and then I'll jump into whether I made profit or not. So for this, I'm going to be using the passives, which are the Vivid Memories and the Synthetic Source. Yeah. So Vivid Memories is the better one. It allows the synthesized monsters to drop synthesized items with a 1% chance, as well as 100% increased effect of additional modifiers on the maps. So this one's by far the best passive out of the two. And then this one also allows you to get free synthesized implicit mods on the rings, as well as, dropping a well-rolled fractured item, which you'll probably won't see anyway. But yeah, the rings can be pretty clanny if you get like a Circle of Fear with Onslaught and Crit Multi, for instance, with the correct rolls. So yeah, Vivid Memories is the better one, and I'll just show you some bases. So, +1 Frenzy Bow is pretty good. It's like 2 to 10x, depends on the base and the eye level. And a ring with +1 Max Frenzy would be insanely profit. That's I'll show you the price of this one. So, item level 83, Max Frenzy charge, 70 to 80 exalts. So, if I get one of those drop, then it doesn't even matter what I do from there. It's just fat. But it's a very low chance. It's got to be like 0.02 or something. So as for the investment, we're going with 25 maps of each one. The maps cost me 65 each, which is 6,500 chaos in bulk. The Forgotten, 250 chaos there. Total investment, 6,750 chaos, or with the today's rate of 150C to 1x, it's 45 exalted orbs. So yeah, a pretty big gamble, to be honest, and this one may not pay off. It's very RNG based compared to other things, which is saying a lot in PoE, isn't it? Another thing to mention is if you do these maps yourselves, try to get ones with at least 4 additional synthesis global modifiers, because those are the modifiers that allow you to get like more card currency drops and stuff like that. The additional random modifiers is great as well because it juices up your map, and I believe it increases the quant. But yeah, at least try and go for the max synth rolls, which do not cost more. So that's about it for now for the intro. I'm going to jump in, and yeah, I'll catch you in a second. Alright guys, I am done. Loot is sorted, ready to go over on the spreadsheet. Let's just quickly take a look at the tab, show you what it looks like. So as you can tell, there's not as much currency as the other things. We never expected to get much currency anyway. Quite a few maps here. These are all Toxic Sewers, except for these 3 Strand maps that I threw in there for some reason. A bunch of Elder Guardian and Shaper Guardian maps. A bunch of invites that I got from the drops. Shitloads of Watchstones, a bunch of Maven Writs, and some synthesis items, as well as decent bases with influence on. And then in this tab, this is the rest of the maps that I can't sell in bulk, really. And a bunch of rings, as you've probably guessed, are in here because they're not so great. These are the okay ones, and I will go over the spreadsheet now and show you basically how much you can expect to make if you did 100 of these the way that I did. So, yeah. Raw currency. So the raw currency is, it's not going to be too much because we don't specifically farm this. 1 raw exalted orb drop and a few shards, 114 chaos, 114 gem cutter prisms. Now the gem cutter prisms disappoints me because these have been nerfed. It's 100. It's so clear these have been nerfed, and I don't know if they've announced it because I don't read every patch note. But if you did these in the past, you would know that if you got the quality currency mod on a synthesis map, these things would drop like fucking hotcakes, mate. You'd get like 40, 50 of these a map. That was not the case. I would get about 6 or 7 or 8 or something like that. So my chisels, 492, as you can see there. But my GCP, only 114, which is a little bit of a letdown, personally. Divine Orbs, I have 13. Now, 1 Divine Orb actually dropped, but there is a modifier that allows things to drop corrupted, so you get a bunch of 6 links, which are then sold to the vendor for Divine Orbs, and they are 17C each at the moment, so quite a decent amount made from those. And the next thing going over, just last thing for the currency, the Orb of Unmakings. From 25 Forgottens, I had 32 drop. These are with 70 plus quant on every single one of them. So yeah, that's a nice little chunk there as well. So 416 chaos just from that alone, which totals our raw currency up to 1,862, which isn't terrible, but it's not the best. So fossils, there's a modifier that lets the mobs drop fossils. I didn't get it too often, so I got 163, and to be honest, that's a decent amount for the amount I had it. I think I probably had it about 5 times in 100, so I'm happy with that. They're really easy to sell, 476C, easy money for me. So yeah, not much to talk about there, except I guess every fossil can drop here since Hollow dropped here, and it doesn't drop anywhere else. But it's not like it'll be too special if you've got a fractured fossil anymore, let's face it. Maps. Toxic Sewer, I had 37 of. They are worth 10C each, so I can sell them for 370C in bulk very easily. I don't know why I listed down 3 strands, but yeah, 15C, they're 5C each. Other maps. So every single map that I got, I thought I would just throw into the other tab. And I'm not going to sell them because it's going to take me too long selling them one by one. But I've just noted down how much it would cost me if I was to buy them, which would be about 4C each. So I've noted that down, as well as the Elder Guardian and the Shaper Guardian maps. So 11 Elder for 242C, they are 22C each. And 6 Shaper, which are 72C, around 13C each. And I had a Cortex drop from the Augmented Distant Memory, which is an awful layout, very annoying layout. But it's a nice addition, 510C there, so it really bumps up the overall profit. And to be honest, that's the first time I've ever had a Cortex drop from a unique map. I didn't even know that was possible, but now I do. So, you learn something new every day. That's just PoE for you, though. Onto the miscellaneous. Now, let me just scroll down so you can see the total here. Miscellaneous, I had 2 Reliquary Keys, 15 Forgotten Invitations. So those are, decent amount there. A Shaped Steel Ring dropped, which is 1x. An Elder Opal Ring for 50C. And Shaped Apothecary Gloves, which are 80C. They're damage over time ones. And then just a few small drops there. Now, I did get this Inspired Learning, but I put Ulti there. And it's because it's dropped in the form of an Inscribed Ultimatum. Now, I can easily do this. So I'm just going to do it, grab the Inspired Learning and sell it. Yeah. I could just sell that, but it'll take me forever, so I'm not going to bother. 2 Childless Splinters dropped, well, 69C, some Ghastly Eye Jewel, a Fractured Tier 2 Life Jewel, a Light of Lunaris, which is the shield, and yeah, apparently Blessing of Zoth can drop there. Yeah, it can drop Blessings, I didn't know that. That was new, it just randomly dropped. So, that's cool, I guess. Okay, so, moving on to the map-specific things now, we've got the Forgotten. Now, the reason I did the Forgotten is because it's free real estate, it's easy money if you're going to do this. And all of the Maven invitations are good because you'll always get splinters for the Maven's Writs. So if you're going to do this, I would highly recommend you do it the way that I did and, do the Forgotten. So I had 12 Maven Writs in total. These are 0.7x each. I could probably sell it more in bulk, but I've just noted them down for 0.7. 1,260 casts in total. And then a bunch of Platinum Watchstones, 20, which is quite a lot. It's a decent amount. Now, I got kind of unlucky because some of the Platinum Watchstones are worth more than others. So Platinum Haywark is 55C, and I had 3 of those. Platinum Valdos is the best one for the, the Harbinger modifier. So those are 115C. So I got one of those, and I also got 1 Lyra, which is also 55C. But any other Watchstone after that is basically between 8 and 13C. I mean, some of these might be worth more, like 15 to 20. But, I can't sell these in bulk, so I've just priced them all at around 8C each. So I've put the total price being 1,899 chaos profit from the Forgotten itself. So that is, that's over 10x profit just from 25 of those, and that's pretty insane to me. So that was really, really nice to do. And synthesized items, as you can probably tell, I didn't have a jackpot. I didn't have a massive ring with +1 frenzy charge, unfortunately. That would have been the dream. But I believe the odds are something like 0.1% or something clowny, because I've done a lot of these in the past and never saw it either. So, Frigate Boat +1 frenzy. These are currently priced at about 4x on trade. So it'll probably sell for 4x. I'm using a high bomb one. I might just craft on this, to be honest. It's really easy to craft on these. Frigate Boat, attack speed. These are priced at 1x on trade, but I don't think they'll sell for that, so I've just put 80C. Citadel Bow, Elipen. Again, these are listed quite high on trade. So I've just got one for 60C. I don't really think this will sell. It might sell. I think the APS in this bow is very low. It's like 1.25, I believe. So I don't know who would buy that, but if there's other ones for 1x, surely somebody's got to buy it, right? Quiver with maximum life, about 20C each. A socketed support gem, axe. So This one increases the quality of socketed support gems, and you'd use this by putting it in like your second inventory slot, where you would then level enlightens up. The quality to the socketed support gives the enlightens more experience, so somebody will probably buy that just for that reason. In stacking amulet, I level 85 that I got from the Forgotten. The Forgotten can drop double synthesized items, whereas the ones in the maps, as far as I saw, can only drop singles implicits. So I had this int stacking one here, which I didn't think would be worth that much, but apparently they're 1x each. So yeah, that's the one I got. Also projectile speed, which might help, since int stacking is usually for ones, I guess. Chaos and max chaos res boots. So 6% chaos and 1% to maximum chaos res. Somebody may buy these. There's none on trade, so I've just put it at 100C. I'm not too sure if it will sell. It might sell. Somebody that's trying to hit like capped chaos res with some divine, I think it's divine flesh. I'm not too sure. It might be divine flesh. They might buy that. Who knows? Rune dagger with 30 crit multi is apparently 30C as well, and then I level 85 early damage with attacks belt, which is 20C. So 1105 with, you know, the majority of that coming from the thicket bow, over half of it. But yeah, that was a really nice drop. And then the thing you're predominantly going to target right now in the synthesized maps is the ring drops. These drop with 3 implicits. If they can drop in the Forgotten, but if they drop in the Forgotten, they will only drop with 1 implicit. I mean, they can drop with 2 or 3, but it's mostly 1. So just be aware of that real quick. So overall, I had 6 decent ones and 63 trash tier ones. And by trash tier, I mean between 10 to 20C. So I'll just quickly show you. Ideally, the one you want is a Circle of Fear with increased buff effect and increased cold damage. However, I did not get those once, and I had quite a few attempts at it, as you can see, 3, 6, 9, 12. I had 13. 13 is pretty decent. However, I struck out with my luck. Those are about 5x if you get them, and I just didn't see one. However, I did get a few decent ones, and I'll cover them now. So we have Circle of Guilt, and I have 4 of them, and I've priced this quite high at 1,790, and with the Circle of Guilt, you can get 2 modifier sets instead of 1, which, you know, usually you have stuff like this. Increased fire damage, increased buff effect is the type of thing that would only be worth something. But with Circle of Guilt, if you get buff effect and reduced reservation, it's not much, but this one is about 40 to 50C. And also this has garbage implicit, so yeah, it's pretty much minimum value. And then there's also these ones here, which have Herald of Purity reduce res, and Sentinels of Purity deal increased damage. So this is for a Herald of Purity Summoner build. And this one's good because it has minions have increased movement speed, so this one's about 100C. And this one is also fine, which is the same, reduce res and damage, with double resistance and a little bit dex, so that's also fine. That might sell for like 100C. It's very hard to price them, but the hardest one for me was this one. And this is a it's a ring for the Summoner variant, so it has max rolls on the Reduced Reservation, as well as over 90% on the Sentinels of Purity damage. So the rolls are already very good, but then it has the Curse with Vulnerability on hit implicit. And this implicit, these minions deal fizz damage. I've played this build in the past, it's usually a Guardian that plays them. They deal a lot of fizz damage, so vulnerability on this ring I think is worth quite a bit. And I would personally buy this ring if I was to be trying to min-max that build for whatever reason. So I feel like that is worth... Well, I would pay 10x for it if I was doing that build. So I've priced it around 10x. Now, it may not sell for that. It may sell for less. It may sell for more. But I don't know. That's just the gut I'm going with. And then Circle of Anguish. Circle of Anguish is the second most expensive one. I got lucky and actually got the buff effect and fire damage on that. And these are about 3.5x. for just these 2 modifiers. So we got one here 11 minutes ago, so this guy is clearly not selling because he would have been spammed to fuck. And then 3x here, yeah, this guy's probably getting spammed, and that guy's 7 hours ago. So 3.5 upwards to 4x. Now it depends on the implicit. If you get some wacky implicits, they're worth a lot more. So this increased damage with ailments will apply to ignite. So this is 6x, only 1 on 19 minutes ago. And also strength is a very nice implicit to have as well. So this could go for 6x upwards, I guess. I don't know if people that use this can shock. But yeah, I'm guessing this one is over 6x. So I've priced it at, I think, 675C, which is Yeah, it's about right? No, it's just over 4.5 I've priced it at. So yeah, that could be more as well. So I'm kind of lowballing this one. And I'm going to throw it on for 6x and hope it sells. And then Circle of Regret. No, I don't think anyone uses the Circle of Regrets as far as I'm aware. Because these are pretty fucking cheap. Like, for real. So these are the buffs that you typically want. And as you can see, like, you get this ring and they're like 10C, 12C each. So I don't know who's using this. But this one has crit multi, which goes up to 100C and 1x, 6x, 8x. I don't know what the other places are, but I also have early damage with attacks. And that's like 50C, 0.4, 1x. So I don't know if somebody's going to buy this, but I feel like I could probably sell this if somebody's going to be using that. So I've just put it at 100C for now, and maybe it sells. But yeah, as you can see from the sad face, Circle of Nostalgia is also pretty garbage, I believe. I'm not sure who's playing Herald of Agony, because Herald of Agony sucks. Like, it does. It really does suck, guys. They get you baited into making a Herald of Agony build. They're good for lab, I guess, but anything outside of that, they're pretty fucking weak. So yeah, 63 garbage rings in total. 6 decent rings, totaling up to 2,565. So let's just take a look and see how much I made. So my total turnover, 10,847 Chaos Orbs, which, to be honest, I didn't expect to make anywhere near that. I honestly thought that I would either break even or make a slight loss on this. So I am pleasantly surprised with making a total of 72x overall. And then deducting the cost, which is like 6,750. Yeah. 4,097 pure profit left if I were to sell everything for the prices that I've, mentioned. Which is 27.31 exalted orbs. So, yeah, it's actually not terrible. I genuinely thought it was going to be a lot worse than that. But would I run it again? Probably not, because the time investment, 8.5 hours, it's a long time. You can do about 12 maps an hour, depending on how fast you are. You could probably do a bit more if you've got like a super zoom build. But it took me 8.5 hours. The one thing I will say is that time flew really quickly, because these maps are very nice to run. They're very fun. Like, every map's going to have some different clowny modifiers. You're going to have like some insane Beyond modifiers, or like where Beyond's pretty much guaranteed to spawn. ID in the rings, having the chance to get a +1 max frenzy ring or something like that. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really different to what you're usually used to. If you jump into a Valdo's map, you're going to get currency at the end of it. You know what I mean? So there's no real excitement. But they add a bit of spice to it, so maybe get your dopamine going a little bit. But yeah, as far as it goes, probably wouldn't run it again. Definitely fun to do though if you want to try it out yourself. For the build that I was using, it was a maximum frenzy charge stacker. As you can see, I have 11 with using brutal charges but triple damage. This build is pretty good. It's also very squishy though, as you can see, so it's just like an insta-kill bosses type build, but it does die quite a bit. I'll leave the PIB if you want to check it out. I'm probably going to switch my build for the next one. Guys, if you have any suggestions or recommendations what you want to see loot from, some people have been asking for the Valdo's Rest one, so I guess I'm going to do that next. I'll try and do 50 maps with the Nemesis Sextant, which is going to cost me a bomb, but I have got some stuff selling at the moment, so I'll probably be able to do it. I'll try and get that one out next, I guess. Probably take me a few days. I'm also probably going to switch my build soon, so yeah, I will catch you next time, guys. Take care and peace.